Tomi Lahren likes to consider herself a fighter for free speech. She hates colleges like Berkeley that want to shut down conservative speakers. But recently, she was at the Student Action Summit, which was an event thrown together by Turning Point USA. And during her appearance, apparently she refused to take any questions in regard to her stance on abortion. If you can recall, she got fired from The Blaze because she said this.
No, I'm pro-choice, and here's why. I am a constitutional, someone that loves the Constitution. I am someone that's for limited government, and so I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say I'm for limited government, but I think that the government should decide what women do with their bodies. I can sit here and say that as a Republican, and I can say, you know what, I'm for limited government. So stay out of my guns, and you can stay out of my body as well.
Okay, so she's a constitutional, and remember, she's part of the right wing, so the right wing did not like that, and understandably, some of the students who went to this Turning Point USA event wanted to ask her about it, and they got shut down. She also would not take any questions about Colin Kaepernick and NFL players who were kneeling. Doesn't sound like something a free speech person would do, but that's what she did. Now, according to a tweet from Baylor University student Chloe Knox, when she attempted to ask Lahren about protecting unborn children, Turning Point USA staff members said the famously pro-free speech firebrand would not be taking such questions. Chloe continued to tweet, "I spent hundreds of dollars to be here, but you're going to deny me my free speech." She also said, "I'm livid. You've turned away a dozen students wanting to ask Tomi about her pro-abortion stance. Who's the snowflake afraid of free speech and open discussion now?"
Damn.
That's the only reason why I want to do the story, because of that last comment. Like, oh, who's the snowflake now? Okay, and then there was more drama. Okay, so the final development is that Tomi Lahren decided to address these students on her Instagram page, where she referred to herself as a role model and also said that she's not going to do things to please others. She's going to stay true to herself. Which, by the way, I guess I admire that if I believed that she was being sincere.
So, first of all, the person calling her a snowflake is not a liberal, it's a conservative.
Yeah.
It's a pro-life, anti-abortion person who's saying, well, what happened, Miss Free Speech? I wanted to ask you a simple question about my conservative ideals. You're brought here by this a conservative super PAC, and you're getting paid a lot of money, and I paid a lot of money to attend. I can't ask one simple question. So when they say that they're in favor of free speech, well, they don't mean literally free. So all these right-wing firebrands that go to these different college campuses actually get paid huge sums. And that's okay, nothing wrong with that. Otherwise, they might not go to Baylor, right? They've got a lot of different choices, free market, I got no issues at all with it. But understand that they're not actually in favor of free speech if it's not speech they like. They're in favor of paid speech where they get paid a lot of money for them to talk and for you to shut up. So that's really the deal.
Let me tell you what I hate most about this story. It inspired me to go on her Instagram page and then just look at the barrel of inconsistencies. And that was just really hard for me to take as somebody who's been trained around argumentation and presenting strong, coherent arguments. I mean, like her last Instagram post was kneeling for Jesus. What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't.
And she follows, and what's really interesting is she follows Trevor Noah. And I started looking at all the people she follows, and I was just like, oh, this is so interesting. She's like presenting this whole manicured image of herself that has like these kind of Kim Kardashian Instagram pictures. And then she has this sort of other side that she's concealing, where she also follows Master P for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. So there's, again, I think there could be a study done about the many sides of Tomi Lahren is trying to hide.
She's making that dough. That's what she's doing. She's making that dough. And look, conservative women make money. Progressive women don't make money. They just don't.
Well, you know why?
It is what it is.
No, it's not the natural state of affairs. It's just that's what the mainstream media rewards. They're like, oh, okay, you're a conservative woman, welcome to television. We'll give you anything and everything that you need. Progressives, there's too many of you. Well, not interesting.
With the exception of if you wanted to defame or critique Islam and you're a Muslim woman, oh my God, I could be rolling in so much dough if I came out and said, guess what, I do not believe in the headscarf, I do not believe in Islam, I'm a former Muslim. oh, I would have that CNN contributor contract or Fox News one like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to speak out against your own group, whatever that group might be,
That's
I mean,
true.
it's a guaranteed contract at Fox News at a minimum, but likely CNN too. If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
You know, I'm like a smart person.
so do it right now. TYTnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.